Hey guys, so I'm back in my apartment, like an hour, just over an hour from my dad's house, and this is the place that I'm moving from. And I am going to be packing up, or I've already started, and I'm just doing odds and ends today. I'm moving in less than a month, but I have a lot of plans between now and then. Weekend plans. I'm going to a New England homesteaders conference. I'm super excited in New Hampshire, and I have like trips to Massachusetts for my sister, and then work. So I was just like, I have some days off, nothing else really going on. Let me just start packing so that I can get it done. And I'm trying to like do it. I've moved so many times that I've cleaned out. I try to clean out every time that I move and really just try to pare down. Of course, I buy things and useful things that I want, and I don't care about volume as much as like make sure that I use the things. I do care about volume. I don't want a cluttered space, but I've never had a space much bigger than a 1-bedroom apartment since I've moved to college, really. That was over 10 years ago. It's crazy. But, so that's what I'm trying to do is like pare down the things that I don't find myself using and things like that. So I'll show you a bit of what I'm doing here. I've shared this in previous videos before I moved from my childhood home, but this is a flea trap, and I'm trying to get rid of fungal gnats. That's all fungal gnats in there, but it works great. The flea traps do for that. I was gonna put down mosquito bits, but I think that instead of doing that, I'm going to just let the soil really dry out. I've noticed a little bit of an improvement. I think I'm gonna just ditch these. My mom had grown, I don't think this is one of hers. She had tried to propagate succulents, and it's just been nonstop stress for me. I do not like succulents. I think that they are, quite frankly, difficult to grow and to maintain. I do great with my monstera, and my fiddle leaf sometimes has some issues. Monsteras are super easy as far as I'm concerned. I got this, I think that's made out of cedar stick to like grow up it, because I heard that the moss poles are kind of more cumbersome than anything because they go dry and you have to like keep the moisture there. So I just decided to use to like a wood plank. But yeah, so I'm trying to get rid of my fungal gnats before I leave. Mosquito bits work, but because I really need to water in the mosquito bits, I was like, let me just let the soil really dry out and see if I can get rid of them like that. But I do not want to bring fungal gnats into my new house. So we're gonna do some packing. Clearly Tony's not gonna help much, but this is not all of my stuff. I have a huge storage unit, so this is just what I've been living with for the last year. Let's get to packing. Oh, and this is what I'm gonna be watching while I pack, which is such a blessing that this just got posted, and I'm super psyched about it. Just posted a video an hour ago, so we're gonna watch that.
Hey guys, good morning.
So I was a travel nurse for a long time, and I was used to moving. It was always quite a bit less stuff than I have here now. I did much more detailed, specific packing when I packed up my childhood home. All those things are in a storage unit, which I will be moving into my house probably next month after I paint the whole thing, get settled. I number the boxes, have a whole notebook of like what's in each box. This apartment has just like what I need. I probably could live out of one box. I literally put all the clothes that I don't want to pack in this dresser. And I'm like, okay, well, I got 3 bags of clothes here and suitcases, and I probably don't need all that stuff, but I will try to minimize. I've always tried to minimize, but it's hard, especially when your weight fluctuates. Everybody knows that struggle. Regardless, I was just going to show you a couple of the things that I have done to pack. And I started to pack a couple weeks ago because I had a lot planned and not too many down days. So it's like, it doesn't matter if the whole apartment's packed up, I'll be able to relax and not worry about it. And then I was like fumbling through boxes when I was cooking and stuff. So I stopped packing, and I've really, over the last week, just did it all. And I think that was the best way to do it. I'm like a planner, so I wanted to do it ahead of time, but it ended up being more convoluted that way. Today is Thursday. I am going for my final walkthrough this afternoon, and hopefully have a better idea of when I'm going to be able to move in tomorrow on Friday after the closing. Closing is at 9 a.m., but the woman, the seller, her husband's in the hospital. She's stressed out. She's like, I might have her moving trucks coming today though. So my plan was I work this weekend. Tomorrow, I work tomorrow night. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, work night shift. And then I'm going to move this apartment on Monday and or Tuesday, because that's what I have availability for my dad and my boyfriend to help me. I rented a carpet cleaner from Home Depot for tomorrow. I paid $50. I think that there's a cancellation fee or you don't get your money back. And I was like, my closing's at 9 a.m. I'll go over to the house, vacuum, wash the carpets. It's 3 or 4 rooms. I think it's just 3 rooms because there's no office. One was an office. It's like 3 bedrooms, but they had 2 bedrooms and an office set up that way. They're very small rooms though. And I just wanted to, then they could dry over the weekend. My original plan was to not move this apartment until I went and cleaned the floors, painted all the walls. But due to what works for my help, I'm being flexible and not stressing about it, because I can put all of this stuff in the living room or whatever, not assembled as IKEA bed that I have here until later, and put the bed on the floor. It's not a big deal. So I'm trying to be flexible, even though I was like, I have 2 weeks before I have to move out of this apartment because they don't do prorated rates, and I'll just get it all done and then move this apartment. And that's not how it's working, but it's still nice that I have this apartment for a couple more weeks. Yeah, there's no stress as far as the moving aspect if I have odds and ends that are left after my helpers, my dad and my boyfriend, move the big stuff and the boxes, and I have a little bit of a straggling stuff just because I live across the street from my work right now. So it's I kind of am, and I'm paying for rent until the end of the month, so I'm trying to just utilize that closeness as long as I can before I have to wake up earlier and be more strict about when I leave for work. So I did my best not to have to buy boxes. I got them from friends and family. If you do it ahead of time, Facebook Marketplace, usually you can find boxes or put out feelers in your community groups. So I got box of shoes here. I did put my stuff in the closet in bags. This one really pushed the limit of the bag. I actually double bagged it, and it's starting to rip here. So I zip tied underneath, and that's holding really well. These ones, I think the zip tie actually does a great job, because then it doesn't have to put stress on this. But I didn't zip tie these ones. This one's just held on by this, so you can do it either way. But I had never done the zip tie, and I really like that. Used big suitcases for my clothes and linens and things like that. But I don't like to use suitcases for shoes because they're nasty, if you know anything about dirtiness of shoes. Small dressers like this and my nightstand I'm keeping full because they shouldn't be too heavy, but any dressers like this, and you can see I'm not quite done yet, I'm emptying out because they will be heavy to begin with. I emptied out under the sink and all of that. Because I'm always on the go and stuff for the last couple of years, I always have my toiletries already in a storage thing, travel thing. And I think for moving, that's very helpful as well, just because you can kind of have them and have everything else packed away. I need to put this in a bin, and usually I tape it shut with painter's tape. I want to get some plastic totes, like those big ones from Home Depot, the yellow or red tops for my boyfriend. So maybe I could put some of the bigger, things. All my cleaning stuff is there, but I want to use it for those big bins for appliances, just because then we're not like making a bunch of loads of that kind of stuff. It does look like I have a lot to do, but it really, you know, when you're cleaning, you're like almost towards the end, but there's like random stuff. It's just like that, the final touches. So I really don't need to go through this stuff. Heavy stuff I put in bins. I do have storage containers that were already in storage that I didn't have to necessarily reorganize because I've been a traveler for so long. I always had like bins of stuff under sinks and never really like made drawer systems and things like that. So I just placed those, and then I had I always traveled with totes, so I have totes of stuff that were really like this above the washer. Just layered it in here to consolidate it, and it can be moved together. I gotta move kitchen stuff still. All of these should be empty. And I put all my baskets over there. I'm hoping that I can use this big box and put some baskets in here. And then because I have more time before I move, I'm not going to worry about plants. I'm really trying to get rid of my fungal gnats. Before, this one was loaded in fungal gnats. I put it outside so maybe I can get it to dry out, and then I can treat it again with hydrogen peroxide and water, because that seemed to help a ton. But I would really like to, and look at all my lists. I can't wait to transplant all this stuff when I get to my house. I got microgreens there. This I washed so I can put it in a box, nice and clean. But yeah, I would really like to not bring fungal gnats into my new house. So that is the goal. All right, I'm gonna finish tidying up here, and I will talk to you in a little bit. I will say that even though I have moved, I want to say 10 places over the last 10 years, it does not get easier in the sense that I hate it. It's overwhelming. It's the opposite of what I like, which is like being organized, having things in their place. And yeah, I can't wait to have my own place and to set up systems and to just be settled for a while. I know that it's not my permanent home, but although I try to be as organized as I can, and through the whole moving process of packing and unpacking, I have a lot of stuff. I aspire to being more minimal, but it's a work in progress. And when you have a lot of stuff, it can only be as neat and tidy and as simple as it can be with a lot of stuff. And so if I had a lot less stuff, moving would be a lot easier. But it's not something that comes easy for me. So it's a whole thing every time that I move. And I was a travel nurse for a bit with less stuff, but I've moved to a lot of apartments permanently for a year or so as well, and with much more stuff. And now I'm moving, this apartment and my whole everything that I own. So I'm keeping things organized. I'm putting spices in boxes, trying to label things. But as you will see in the rest of this whole moving saga, it is stressful. And especially for somebody that's type A, even though I have been as organized as I can, it's still overwhelming. I'm just doing the best that I can, and that's all we can do. I do want to comment on this microphone that I am using. I'm sure you can tell that the video quality, the microphone quality has been all over the place in my videos. And this, as far as I can tell in my editing, is much better. This video has taken me forever to get out because I am now in the house, and I've tried to record a lot of the home renovations that I've done through the end of the fall and into this winter. And so I'm thinking voiceovers are going to be an easy way for me to get quality videos out more quickly. And I really hope that I can provide a better quality video. So we'll see how that goes with this new microphone that I have. I'm going to my house for the last time when it's not mine. Final walkthrough. Seriously? Final walkthrough, and the moving trucks are still here. Like, what the heck? Stay tuned for my next video where I talk all about the whole moving process and what was going on here, why the movers were still there, and how it all went. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.